the place on Earth where life shouldn't exist. Have you ever believed something so deeply, so completely, that it felt like an unshakable truth? Something you learned in school, something you read in books, something every scientist, every teacher, every expert told you was absolutely, undeniably true. Here's one of those truths, the one we've all been taught, the one we all accept without question. Life finds a way. It's almost a law of nature, a fundamental principle of biology. Wherever there's water, wherever there's energy, wherever there's even the faintest glimmer of opportunity, life will be there. It's resilient, it's persistent, it's unstoppable. We found life in places that should be impossible. In the boiling waters of hydrothermal vents, where temperatures reach 400 degrees Celsius, and the pressure would crush you like a tin can. In the frozen wastes of Antarctica, where temperatures drop to minus 90 degrees, and the wind never stops blowing. In the crushing depths of the ocean, where darkness is absolute, and the weight of the water above you is unimaginable. In radioactive waste, where the radiation levels would kill a human in minutes. In acid so strong it dissolves metal. In salt so concentrated, it would dehydrate you instantly. In oil so toxic, it would poison you just by touching it. We call them extremophiles, and they are everywhere. We've convinced ourselves that life is inevitable, that given the right conditions, life will emerge, that if there's liquid water, there must be life, that if there's a planet in the habitable zone, there must be life, that the universe is teeming with it, that we are not alone. It's a beautiful thought, a comforting thought, a thought that makes us feel less alone in this vast, cold, empty cosmos. But here's the thing that will shatter everything you thought you knew. There's a place on Earth where life doesn't exist. Not because it's too cold, not because it's too hot, not because there's no water. There's plenty of water, there's plenty of energy, there's everything life supposedly needs. But life simply can't survive there. It's a place so extreme, so hostile, so utterly unforgiving that even the hardiest microorganisms on the planet can't handle it. Not just can't thrive, can't survive at all. They die the moment they touch it. They dissolve, they disintegrate, they are destroyed. And the discovery of this place has changed everything we thought we knew about the limits of life. It has shattered our assumptions. It has humbled our arrogance. It has forced us to confront the terrifying possibility that life is not inevitable, that life is fragile, that there are places in the universe where life simply cannot exist, not even the simplest, most primitive forms. And if that's true on Earth, what does that mean for the rest of the cosmos? Let me take you there, to the gates of hell itself, the gates of hell. In the Danakil depression of northern Ethiopia, there's a place called Dallol. It's one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. The landscape looks like something from another planet. Or maybe hell. Volcanic craters filled with salt, toxic gases bubbling up from the ground, water boiling in pools of acid. Temperatures that regularly exceed 45 degrees Celsius, even in winter. The air is thick with sulfur. The ground is unstable. The colors are surreal. Yellow, green, red, white, a landscape painted by chemistry, not biology. It's the hottest place on Earth, on average. Not the hottest ever recorded, but consistently, brutally, oppressively hot. Heat that saps your strength. Heat that makes you dizzy. Heat that kills. And scattered across this infernal landscape are pools of water. Hot, hypersaline, hyperacid pools. Water that is so salty it would kill you instantly if you drank it. Water that is so acidic it can burn through skin. Water that has pH values that are actually negative. That's not a typo. Negative pH. More acidic than battery acid. More acidic than your stomach acid. Acid so strong it dissolves metal. Acid so strong it dissolves bone. Acid so strong it would eat through your skin in seconds. At first, scientists assumed life must be there. After all, extremophiles have been found in some of the most extreme environments on Earth. In hydrothermal vents where water boils at 400 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is so high it crushes steel. In salt lakes so salty that nothing else can survive, where the water is thick like syrup. In acid mine drainage so corrosive it eats through metal, where the water is bright orange from dissolved iron. But when researchers actually looked at Dallol, when they went there and collected samples, and analyzed them with the most advanced techniques in microbiology, they found something shocking, something that defied everything they believed. There was no life, no bacteria, no archaea, no fungi, no viruses, nothing, no cells, no DNA, no RNA, no proteins, no metabolic activity. No signs of life at all. Life had simply given up. The investigation. In 2019, a team of scientists led by biologist Purificación López Garcia from the French National Center for Scientific Research decided to investigate Dallol properly. They were the first to do a comprehensive, rigorous, systematic study of the site. They collected samples from the pools. They used multiple methods to check for life. Massive sequencing of genetic markers to detect and classify microorganisms. Microbial culture attempts to grow whatever might be there. Fluorescent flow cytometry to identify individual cells. Chemical analysis of the brines. Scanning electron microscopy combined with X-ray spectroscopy to look for tiny structures. They were thorough. They were careful. They made sure their samples weren't contaminated. They took every precaution. They crossed every T and dotted every I. And the results were definitive. There was no microbial life in the hot, saline, hyperacid pools, not in the hypersaline pools, not in the hyperacid pools, not in the adjacent magnesium-rich brine lakes. There was life in the desert around the hydrothermal site. There were halophilic archaea, salt-loving microorganisms that thrive in the salty canyons, but not in the pools themselves, not in the water, not in the sediment. Microorganisms can survive in Dallol, just not in the multi-extreme ponds, according to López Garcia's team. Even though the wind carries microbes from the surrounding desert into the pools, they don't survive. They can't adapt. They die. The moment they touch the water, they are destroyed. It's like throwing them into a furnace. Instant death, complete annihilation. For the first time in history, scientists had identified a place on Earth where liquid water exists, but life doesn't. A place where water is present, energy is available, and all the ingredients for life exist, but life is absent. It was a shocking discovery, a humbling discovery, a discovery that changed everything. The Extremophile paradox. This discovery illustrates something called the Extremophile paradox. It's a fascinating concept that challenges our understanding of how life works. Extremophiles can live in extreme environments. That's what they do. That's what they are adapted for. That's their entire evolutionary strategy. They are the survivors, the conquerors, the ones who go where no one else can. But the evidence suggests they can't originate in such environments. They can't evolve there. They can't be born there. They can only move in after they've evolved somewhere else. Think about it. Life needs to start somewhere. It needs to evolve. It needs to build complexity. That requires conditions that are stable enough for chemistry to become biology, stable enough for molecules to organize into cells, stable enough for cells to divide and replicate and evolve. Extreme environments are too chaotic, too unstable, too destructive for life to get started. They are like a storm. They tear things apart. They don't build things up. So extremophiles can exist in extreme environments, but they can't be born there. They have to evolve somewhere else and then move in. It's like human colonists moving to Antarctica. We can survive there with the right equipment, but we couldn't have originated there. We couldn't have evolved from simple life forms in that environment. We're too complex, too fragile, too dependent on technology. This has profound implications for the search for life beyond Earth, even if we find an extreme exoworld where terrestrial extremophiles could survive. Researchers predict that no native extremophile life would be present. An extreme environment can sustain chemical evolution and arriving non-native life. Yet native life cannot be built up in that very environment. Life may exist on an extraterrestrial extreme world, but only if it was imported there, only if it came from somewhere else. So the presence of liquid water on a planet doesn't necessarily imply the presence of life. That's a huge conclusion. It changes how we think about habitability. It changes how we think about the search for life. It changes how we think about our place in the universe. We've been looking for life in the wrong places. We've been looking for water, and we've assumed that water means life. But Dallol shows us that water is not enough. Life needs more than water. Life needs stability. Life needs complexity. Life needs time. What makes Dallol so deadly? So what exactly is it about Dallol that makes it so inhospitable? What's the barrier that even extremophiles can't cross? What's the secret ingredient that makes this place so deadly? Researchers have identified two physical-chemical barriers that prevent the presence of living organisms in the Dallol pools. First, there's the abundance of chaotropic magnesium salts. These are agents that break hydrogen bonds and denature biomolecules. They literally tear apart the molecular structures that life depends on. Proteins unfold, membranes dissolve, DNA breaks down. It's like being dissolved from the inside out. Your cells don't just die, they fall apart, they disintegrate, they become nothing. Second, there's the simultaneous confluence of multiple extreme conditions. It's not just the heat, it's not just the salt, it's not just the acid, it's all of them at once, in combination. The heat and the salt and the acid together create a synergistic effect that is too much for any organism to handle. It's like being hit by a tsunami and a hurricane and an earthquake all at the same time. Each one alone would be survivable. Together, they are not. Scientists have even found mineral precipitates in Dallol that look like microbial cells under a microscope. They are similar in size and shape to bacteria, but they are not biological. They are abiotic. They form spontaneously in the brines. They are geological, not biological. This is a crucial warning. It shows that we can't just look for shapes and assume they're life. We need to be careful. We need to be rigorous. We need to be skeptical. Because if we can be fooled by mineral deposits on Earth, how can we be sure we won't be fooled by mineral deposits on Mars? How can we be sure we won't misinterpret a geological formation as a biological one? How can we be sure we won't mistake a rock for a fossil? The implications. The discovery of Dallol's sterility has profound implications for science, for our understanding of life, for our search for life beyond Earth, for astrobiology. It means we need to be cautious about interpreting morphological biosignatures on Earth and beyond. We shouldn't rely on the apparently cellular or biological aspect of a structure because it could have an abiotic origin. It could be a mineral deposit that just happens to look like a cell. It could be a trick of chemistry, not biology. For the search for life on Mars or Europa or Enceladus, it means we need to look for more than just water. We need to look for specific conditions. We need to look for signs of biological activity, not just signs of habitability. A planet with water might still be sterile if the conditions are too extreme. The presence of liquid water alone doesn't guarantee life. It's not enough. It's just the beginning. For our understanding of life's limits, it means that there are hard boundaries. Life is resilient. Life is adaptable. Life is persistent. But life is not infinite. There are places where life simply can't go. Even on Earth. Even in our own backyard, the extremophile wonderland. But even at the edges of Dallol, there are surprises. In the desert and the saline canyons around the hydrothermal site, scientists found a great diversity of halophilic archaea. These are primitive salt-loving microorganisms. They are extremophiles. They are tough. They are survivors. They thrive in conditions that would kill most organisms. And elsewhere on Earth, extremophiles continue to surprise us. In the hydrothermal vents of the Red Sea, researchers have discovered an unusual microbial world. The Hatiba Mons hydrothermal vent fields, discovered in 2023, are home to microbes that perform iron, sulfur, nitrogen, and carbon cycling. Many of these microbes were previously unknown to science. They thrive in high salinity, high-temperature environments that would kill most organisms. The microbes in Hatiba Mons show remarkable metabolic versatility. They are not just surviving, they're shaping their environment. They're driving chemical transformations that affect the planet's chemical and mineral cycles. Understanding these metabolic networks can inform biotechnological applications such as metal recovery, bioenergy generation, and environmental remediation. But even these hardy organisms might not survive Dallol. The combination of heat, salt, acid, and magnesium is just too much. It's the ultimate barrier, the final frontier, the place where even extremophiles can't go. The humbling truth. So what does this mean for us? What does it mean to know that there's a place on Earth where life simply cannot exist? What does it mean to know that our assumptions were wrong, that our beliefs were unfounded, that our confidence was misplaced? It means we need to adjust our perspective. We tend to think of life as inevitable. We tend to think that where there's water, there's life. We tend to think that life will find a way. We tend to think that we understand the universe. But Dallol challenges all of that. Life is not inevitable. Life is fragile. Life has limits. There are places where life can't go. There are conditions that life can't survive. And that's humbling. It's humbling to realize that we are not as special as we thought. It's humbling to realize that life is not as inevitable as we thought. It's humbling to realize that there are places in our own backyard that are too hostile for life. But it's also exciting, because it means we have more to learn. It means we have more to discover. It means we haven't figured everything out yet. It means the universe is still full of mystery. The final perspective. The next time you think about the resilience of life, remember Dallol. Remember the place where life couldn't survive. Remember the pools of acid that are too extreme for even the hardiest microorganisms. Remember the place where water exists but life doesn't. Remember the place that shattered our assumptions and humbled our arrogance. Remember that life is not infinite, that there are limits, that there are boundaries, that there are places where even the most resilient organisms can't go. And remember that the presence of water on a planet doesn't guarantee the presence of life. We need to be careful. We need to be cautious. We need to be humble. Dallol is a reminder that the universe is not our playground. It's not ours to conquer. It's not ours to dominate. It's a place of wonder and mystery, full of things we don't understand, full of limits we haven't discovered. And that's beautiful. That's what makes science exciting. That's what makes discovery meaningful. Because there's always something new to find. There's always a limit to push. There's always a mystery to solve. So here's to Dallol, the place on Earth where life shouldn't exist. The place that taught us that we don't know as much as we thought we did. The place that reminded us that life is precious precisely because it's fragile. Because that's the point. Science is not about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. And Dallol, it's the mother of all questions. The unfinished story. We are living in a remarkable time. A time of discovery. A time of revolution. A time when the biggest questions are still unanswered. And the greatest discoveries are still waiting to be made. We don't know the limits of life. We don't know where life can and can't survive. We don't know if we're alone in the universe. We don't know if there's life elsewhere. We don't know if we're the exception or the rule. And that's okay. That's the point, because science isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. It's about refusing to accept ignorance. It's about pushing forward, step by step, discovery by discovery, until we finally understand. And we will, someday, maybe not in our lifetimes, maybe not in our children's lifetimes, but someday we will understand. We will look back at this moment, at this time when we didn't know, and we will marvel at how far we've come. We will remember the days when we thought life was inevitable, and we will be grateful that we had the courage to question our assumptions. So here's to the mysteries. Here's to the unknown. Here's to the places on Earth where life shouldn't exist. May they haunt us. May they drive us. May they inspire us to keep looking, keep asking, keep wondering, because that's what makes us human. The relentless pursuit of understanding, the refusal to accept ignorance, the burning desire to know what's out there. That's the story of Dallol, and it's still being written, right now, by people just like you.